Welcome live to Schellenberger Field for matinee action of ODAC Women's Lacrosse. Today we'll see the Roanoke Maroons come into University of Lynchburg to battle the Hornets. I'm Joe Hutzler, the narrator for our journey today as we look at the 26th meeting of these two teams since 2001. The Hornets have won 4 straight. Roanoke has won 2 of their last 4. Let's talk about the individuals that you should be watching out for this afternoon as they get underway. We always start with the visitors, and Miss Lily Blair is who we're speaking about this afternoon. 8 goals in the last 2 games. She's got 5 draw controls as well in that time span. In the last 3 games, she scored 11 of the team's 40 goals, so she is accounting for 27.5% of their tally. She's going to be a huge part of the successful game plan for Coach Schwartz and the Maroons. On the other side for Lynchburg, we're talking about Carly Sandler, who's coming off a Women's Lacrosse ODAC Player of the Week honor. She is second on the team in points with 33, having 15 goals and 18 assists on the season, part of a 3-headed monster attack for this Hornets program. We're going to step aside, come back, talk about the coaches that are leading these squads, plus starters, and the opening draw on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
John Eccles joined the Lynchburg College community in 1986 as Director of Housing. As his famous beard grew, so too did his stature with the students he served on a daily basis. He seemed to be everywhere and rapidly became an integral part of campus life. He was asked to serve temporarily as Dean of Students in 1993 and soon earned the position on a permanent basis. In 2007, he became Vice President for Student Development, a position he held until his retirement in 2016. Simply put, John Eccles set the standard for student affairs professionals. He led the growth of Hornet Pride throughout the last 2 decades of his service through his direct and constant interaction with students, through his colorful sense of humor, through his visibility on campus, through the red chairs, the red chair blogs, and all the colorful emails to students. He created the annual Leadership Awards ceremony. In addition, John contributed his sense of humor, his calm demeanor, and his common sense approach to the leadership of the college at the highest levels of administration. He even donned a hard hat and work boots to supervise the construction of
Back here at Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. Joe Hutzler with you today as these two teams fight for the Battle of 460, Route 460, which separates these two institutions from Salem, Virginia and Lynchburg, Virginia. Let's talk about our coaches this evening or this afternoon, whatever we are. It's always interesting when we start this early in the day for a contest. Let's talk about Bruce Reed, who is in the huddle wearing the pink hat as usual. That's his normal game day attire. In his 19th season, 163 victories, second all-time in the pantheon of women's lacrosse history here at University of Lynchburg. In the other huddle, we've got Roanoke College's Mary Schwartz in her 17th season, 208 wins for her, and a 2009 ODAC championship for Coach Schwartz and the Maroons. This is our final day inside the little trailer positioning that we've known for the better part of 2 months on the other side of the stadium. Tomorrow for ODAC field hockey semifinals, we will be back in the pavilion area, which has since been closed in, and also houses all of the controls for our new video board, which is in effect today at a limited capacity, but still being used more so than it has been recently. So we will look forward to showing you that when we can, as time permits. But our main focus is what's going on the field, and that is Roanoke and Lynchburg meeting for the 26th time since 2001. Roanoke leads the series barely, 13-12. Lynchburg has won the last 3 meetings of these two programs, with Roanoke winning the last time in 2017. As you can see, Lynchburg's starter in net today. That's Julia Broughton, sophomore out of Glen Allen, Virginia. In her 10th game, 43 saves this year for Julia. And on the other side, Carly Schudel from Darien, Connecticut gets the start in the pipes, and the Hornets win the opening draw. We have begun here at Schellenberger Field. Number 2 versus number 3 in the current ODAC standings. Both of these teams trailing Washington and Lee. That's the last time Lynchburg lost, was to the Generals. 4 straight victories since then as a ground ball situation ensues, and it will be the Hornets' Dara Gregory scooping it up. Leah Dumas, Kelsey Trevison, Mason Witten out on the field right now for the Hornets. Dumas connecting with Witten. Good pass inside, but it was off the mark for Sandler, who does scoop it up, and this offense will have another chance. Dumas into Trevison. Kelsey Trevison starts the scoring. She continues the trend of scoring at least 1 in every game this season, and she now has 15 goals in the last 5 games. Check it out one more time. Dumas, no one around Trevison. That's the person you have to cover if you are any defense. And Roanoke found out the hard way on that one. Almost 1 minute gone by. And Trevison adds to her team leading 35 goals with 36 now. Currently 7th all-time in career goals with 149. And if the trends continue to go her way, you're probably going to see 150 today. And we've got a conversation being had with the 3 officials at midfield. They already checked the sticks. That's why the goal counts on the board. So interesting to see what this may be about. And they'll go chat with both coaches, actually, about this situation as well. Now's when we need microphones on the coaches or close by to the other side of the field. Tomorrow, we will not have that problem. Do we have to switch sides? Were we going the wrong way? I think we were. Wow. So, I mean, honestly, it makes sense when you think about the way things were in warm-ups. All right. Well, this game was supposed to be last night at 7. Their last-minute change in relation to our referees, trying to get 3 of them here. And so everybody's trying to catch up a little bit. Yesterday brain trying to catch up to today's. I have been a victim of that already this afternoon, so I understand. Still 1-0. Doesn't change the score, just changes the direction that we're heading. And the draw control violation against Lynchburg. Roanoke will get possession on offense for the first time. Claire Eisenhart will bring it across midfield first as they try to get it inside that red line. Eisenhart will do that, and the offense will get set. Lynchburg has played 10 games. Roanoke has only played 7. They've had 2 contests canceled, one due to weather against Guilford, and the other against Mary Washington was due to the Eagles having some COVID-19 issues. So haven't had a consistent rhythm, have the Maroons, but they are 2-1 in conference play. They are 3rd in the conference standings, and we're less than a month from the ODAC tournament. That'll be the first weekend in May for men's and women's lacrosse. Very likely could see these 2 teams again at that time, but we're going to focus on the here and now. 27:53. We've just begun here in the first half. Kelsey Trevison for the Hornets, collecting her 36th of the season, breaking the ice today as that bouncer is off the mark, and a free run at it and picked up by Lynchburg's Madison Knight. Great speed as well for the junior out of Clayton, Delaware. Quickly, Trevison has some chance across the crease, but it was knocked down by Eisenhart. Sandler picks up the loose ball. And Trevison open, clangs it off the bar and in. Twice now, that defense of Roanoke not staying with number 3 in gray, and it has cost them both times. Barring the checking of the stick, which we have to assume is still the same stick as less than 2 minutes ago when she scored to make it 1-0, and it is confirmed, and you see Trevison taking advantage of being open, getting a little bit of help from the deflection off the inside of the bar. In 2019, Trevison scored 50 goals, which is good enough for 10th all-time in a single season. And Lynchburg still with 3 regular season contests plus ODAC games. She could eclipse that mark in her extra year of eligibility, her graduate year. Good tussle here on the near sideline between King and Foster, and it's Tori King for Lynchburg scooping it up. Trevison takes the check, delivers to Santora, the graduate transfer. Nikki Santora looking inside for help. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here. Dumas dancing in the middle, somehow connected, but only for a moment, and eventually taken away by Lily Blair. The junior from Salem, Virginia, didn't have to go far to go to class and play some lacrosse. Now it's Roanoke's turn to respond. It's been a pretty staunch defense for Lynchburg. With the exception of that 18-15 win to Randolph-Macon, they've held every opponent since WNL to less than 10 goals. As that one changes speed and bounces in, shot came and went through from Jenna Kutzo. A senior from Fairfield, Connecticut, makes it 2-1. After a deflection that slowed down the speed of that ball, and then bounced to boot to get past Broughton. Looking at it again, Kutzo, let it go. Actually, I don't think it got deflected at all. Speed messed with my eyes, but I think it was just a good bounce, accurate toss. And for Kutzo, it's goal number 10 on the season. Now 4 Maroons with 10 goals or more. On the draw again, it rolls here near side again. And Foster this time cleanly scoops it up away from King. Blair and Foster, those are your top 2 point scorers for the Maroons, as Blair looking for her first goal. And she's going to come back for a free position opportunity. No, actually, it might come back just start outside the shooting area. Actually, it is based on where the ball is placed. And now they'll scoot it back in. So should have went with my initial thought. Blair is 1 for 2 in free position shots in the last 2 contests. She is 9 of 14. She's taken the most free position shots this season for anyone on the Maroons roster. And her first attempt is a bouncer that's stopped by Broughton. '44th save for the sophomore. And it keeps it 2-1 in favor of the 25th ranked Lynchburg Hornets. First time they have been ranked since the IWLCA began coaches polls back in 2001. And they've held on to that top 25 ranking since March 15th. Even in a couple losing efforts, they've stayed in the top 25 of the country. Trying to finish strong here against Roanoke before heading on the road for the next 3 to finish the regular season, as Witten slams one home. Mason Witten carrying that speed from one side of the field to the other and just let one rip across her body into the back of the net. Quick response from Lynchburg's offense. 1 minute and 10 seconds after the goal from Kutzo. It's this one from Mason Witten, her 11th of the season. Witten is going to be on the Hive podcast tomorrow. We haven't told anyone else that, so you are the first to find out. She will join Carter Sadin of Lynchburg men's soccer and men's basketball. One as a player and the other as a student assistant. So be sure to tune into that tomorrow. I think it's been about a 3-week hiatus since we've had a show. Things slowing down a little bit here as we get to a more traditional spring season, allowing us to do more of what we typically do in a given week on LHSN. So check it out tomorrow on Spotify, the Hive podcast. Mason Witten and Carter Sadin. 3-1 lead here, each team with 3 shots total. Blair looking for some open space, now gives it up. And they'll try again. It's Foster working her way inside, and Broughton gets large outside the crease. Now batting it away, could not cleanly bring it into her stick. And the Maroons will keep possession, but still a big save. The 4th of the half so far for Julia Broughton, keeping it a 2-goal contest. Emerson Foster, shaded by Peyton Seville. Now back at X. Looking for Blair, got away from her, rolls to the outside. Knight trying to get it. And that's going to be interference of some type against the Maroons, so Lynchburg will take over. Dangerous pass, too tall for Trevison. Can she get to it before it rolls out? She does not. And now it's Roanoke trying to quickly take advantage of numbers before realizing they just need to settle it down. We'll go through the motions again and try to respond to make it a one-goal game once more. Lynchburg began the contest with 2 straight goals from Kelsey Trevison. Then Jenna Kutzo scored for the Maroons, I beg your pardon, followed by Mason Witten, making it 3-1 for Lynchburg. Blair again, works around her man, lost it inside, hits the turf, whistles blow. And I think a card's coming out against Lynchburg. The official inside the crease area at the moment went for his pocket, but did not pull a card out. So it's just a free position for Lily Blair, her second of the half. This time she finds the post as it clangs away. 0 for 2, first time Broughton with the save, second time her best friend stepping in, and it remains a 3-1 game. Good catch by Madison Knight. Now she'll work to get around and just beat Ellie Armstrong to a spot. She will do that and carried it inside the offensive area. As once again, the Hornets defense doing their job. The offense supplementing that with great play so far. Clicking on most cylinders at the moment. Doesn't matter what sport. If your defense and your offense can work together, you're going to be successful. And that's happening today with Lynchburg's defense halting the Roanoke offense as we see our first big stop, the first credited save to Carly Schudel. We'll see if Roanoke can do what Lynchburg's been doing. Get a big stop on defense, take that momentum, bring it across midfield, and then end up scoring on the other end. There's a chance here because they've got the numbers. Sliding inside, a pass at the last moment, and curling it around the shoulders of Broughton was Tiernan Connor. How about the pass from Maddie Stupkoski? Checking it out, there's Stupkoski at the last moment. Man comes over, she dishes it, and then right over the shoulders of Broughton is Tiernan Connor, scoring for the 5th time this season and making it 3-2. Pretty good contest so far, just about 10 minutes gone by, already 5 total goals scored. And for Roanoke, it took them a little bit to get themselves acclimated with the moment. Even the officials had a moment as we began. Lynchburg, if you missed it, Lynchburg was shooting where Roanoke is shooting now in that first possession, actually scored. And then the officials got together and said, actually, we got that wrong. They should switch. And since then, both teams have scored twice on their new ends of the first half. Lynchburg goals from Trevison with 2 and Witten. Roanoke has goals from Kutzo and Connor. Connor getting a great assist from Stupkoski. This is Foster. Creates contact. And for the 3rd time in about 10.5 minutes, Roanoke will have a free position shot opportunity. They are 0 for 2 so far. 1 off the goalie, 1 off the post. This is Foster's first trip to this area tonight. She's 6 of 9 on the season in free position shots. And hits the post twice, then bounces back in. And the officials say it's a good goal. I'm not sure when it crossed the goal line. He went to say that it was a goal before it actually rolled back off the bounce. So maybe in that process of deflecting a few times off the bar, it may have crossed, and he saw that. Either way, as long as the stick is good, the goal is good. Foster has her 26th goal of the season, and we're tied up at 3 apiece. Look at it again, Foster. Let's see how many times this thing bounces. So between the legs, off the post there, then off the back of Broughton, and then across the line. Unfortunate moment, unfortunate bounce for Julia Broughton and the Hornets. Good look by the camera crew. And a good response from Roanoke as they have now tied it up at 3. Foster and Witten playing basketball, boxing each other out there during the draw. As the Hornets switched it up, it's usually Witten taking the draw and King playing on the outside. That time they switched it, and it's Witten winning possession on the whistle. Mason Witten gliding through the middle, and now we'll roll it back and set up from there. The Maroons out shooting Lynchburg 8-4 overall, also with 7-4 shots on goal advantage. Julia Broughton with 4 saves, Carly Schudel with a single stop so far. Good turn, shot off the mark from Sandler. It stays with Lynchburg. Their last possession was their first empty one, as the one-timer option is there for Sandler, but a good stick by the defense. It rolls in the crease where only Schudel can play it, and she'll scoop it up gladly and give it to a teammate to try and clear. The sun coming out here to finish the workday in Lynchburg, Virginia for some. As we have really just begun, 17.5 minutes remaining in the first half. The Maroons trying to end a 3-game skid against Lynchburg. The Hornets looking to remain in the top 2 positions of the standings for the ODAC, as they hope to earn their highest seeding position to start a tournament in a very long time. Kelsey Trevison double teamed, goes down hard, and will earn a chance to score for the 3rd time today. This in free position fashion. Trevison, 50% on free position shots this year, 6 of 12. The official asking for the clock operator to reset the shot clock. Now it is, and we're ready to go. Trevison eyes Schudel in the back of the net, looking for an open spot as she sprints in. Gets around one defender, goes top side on the right side, and scores. Trevison with a nice move. So many times you see players just go straight at the keeper, which makes sense in a way, right? The shortest distance between 2 locations is a straight line. But that time it was smart to let the defense suck into that line. She cuts to the right, creates her own space in the center, and scores for the 3rd time today. Check it out again. She'll come into your screen from the left. and then bounces one off the right side and in. Her 38th of the season, third of the game, and the Hornets back up again by 1. At this rate, she'll definitely surpass her 2019 total of 50 goals in one season, which surprisingly is only good for 10th all time in a single season. That's just incredible, the offensive firepower that has come through here under Coach Reed and Coach Steele in her time as the women's lacrosse coach. Coach Enza Steele going for ODAC championship number 21 this weekend in field hockey. That journey begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here on LHSN against the Hornets of Shenandoah University. If you combine Coach Steele's win total between field hockey and women's lacrosse, she has over 215 women's lacrosse, over 600 in field hockey, so well over 800 wins as a coach at the University of Lynchburg. And she shows no signs of slowing down either. So that number is certainly going to climb in the years to come. Dumas all the way back to Gregory. Mason Witten looking for help on the inside. Throws it back to X instead. Dumas, no pick, and Dumas goes down. They called a check there on Eisenhart. I thought Dumas just went down on her own. But either way, Lynchburg will keep possession, 35 seconds on the shot clock. Trevison using that speed, trying to create space, looking in for Sandler. Takes the pass, and then too hard of a pass intended for Witten. Foster gets there first. Foster goes down, and the Maroons will take control from there. A little more of a messy offensive sequence for Lynchburg than we're used to, and certainly than what we've been used to here today. And we're going to get a card this time, a yellow for a slash on Trevison. So she's going to sit for 2 minutes. And Roanoke has a great opportunity to tie it up. And a little part of me just got super happy because we tried to make sure we could put penalties up on the video board, and they're there. Number 3, 2 minutes up on the board. Everyone can keep track. We no longer have to do quick math, which is probably not a problem for some. It is for me. And we can just look up there and find out that she has 150 left in her 2-minute penalty. And a bad turnover for the Maroons. That's their 5th one of the half as Sandler shows off some skill. And Lynchburg can try and hold. No, Gregory's pass was swatted away, and she gets pushed. And Lynchburg will keep possession. The Maroons got to be a little bit more aggressive. They want to try to get the ball back with a man advantage. But Lynchburg certainly has the option to kill some time, waiting for Trevison to come back in. She has 1 minute remaining in her 2-minute slashing penalty. Nikki Santora doing her best to waste time, being guarded by Brooke Adams. Adams hailing from Pine Beach, New Jersey. Sounds like a place I'd like to visit. It's not something you usually hear out of people's mouths. They want to visit a place in New Jersey, but that sounds nice. 20 seconds remaining in the Trevison penalty. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Hornets. And they're going to have a shot clock violation, but more importantly, they killed a good chunk of time on the penalty to Trevison. So by the time they come back down here to play defense, she will be back on the field, and we will be at even strength, as we are now. Another turnover for the Maroons. Only down one. They've showed that they can keep up with this high-powered Lynchburg offense, but you've got to get out of your own way at times. Does not seem like the type of game where a 2-goal deficit, a 3-goal deficit is going to be something you can be confident about coming back from. It just feels like such a back-and-forth affair. If one of these teams gets up by 2 or more, they've got a much larger advantage than you typically would have in a lacrosse match. Good defensive work. Once again, Gregory losing it thanks to Brooke Adams. This time, the Maroons will keep it. Smartly, Adams rolled it into the crease so that only Shudell could play it. Both offenses a bit stale in the last few minutes. And a bad turnover again. That's 3 straight for the Maroons. In those previous 25 meetings, this has actually been a pretty friendly place for Roanoke. They've won 8, lost 5. But if they keep doing that, that 5 losses is going to be 6. Witten through the middle, not able to get to a right-handed shot. This took fine to Trevison, and Kelsey Trevison collects the Texas hat trick. That's 4 tallies in this first half for number 3. So Trevison's done a little bit of everything today. 4 goals, a penalty, and this one gives the Hornets a 2-goal advantage again, as there's a timeout on the field. We'll step aside and be right back on LHSN.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what this school's really good at doing.
And we're back here at Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. The Maroons calling the timeout after giving up that most recent goal to Kelsey Trevison, who has 4 of Lynchburg's 5 tallies in the first half. The Hornets and the Maroons pretty even in shots, 8-7 in favor of Roanoke, 7-6 shots on goal in favor of the visitors. Maroons are 1 of 3 on free position shots. Lynchburg has collected a goal on their only attempt. That was Trevison. 4 saves for Julia Broughton, 1 save for Carly Shudell. 4-3 advantage for Roanoke on draw controls, as well as a ground ball advantage of 7-5. Each team, turnovers, 8 for Lynchburg, 7 for Roanoke, but 3 in a row for the Maroons that have really hurt them, allowing Lynchburg to take this 2-goal advantage. Roanoke has caused 4 turnovers, Lynchburg just 1, hence that showcasing that they're hurting themselves in terms of turnovers for the Maroons. 8-5 fouls disadvantage for Lynchburg over Roanoke. The Maroons have goals from Kutso, Connor, and Foster. Lynchburg with 4 goals by Trevison and the other goal from Mason Witten. .26 to play in the first half. We await the draw, the whistle. And losing her goggles was Carly Hughes. And they'll try it again. Popolaski and Hughes. Hughes lost her goggles again. She might need a refund on those. Meanwhile, Roanoke doing what they can to catch Lynchburg's defense off guard. They cannot, so they'll reset out top. Stopkowski shimmies and shakes and shoots and scores. Maddie Stopkowski, after dishing a beautiful assist earlier, the freshman from Clinton, Connecticut, scoring for the 8th time this season. And a great response from Roanoke after that timeout, exactly what they needed. Looking at it again, just using those quick reaction moves to create space for herself, and more importantly, the accurate finish. Hughes and Popolaski will go at it again. And this time, the ground ball picked up by Alla Daniel and then swatted away by Foster, who has put her hair up in a bun. She got tired of that long, red, curly hair getting sweaty on the back of her neck, probably. I know I would. Hence, I barely have any hair. Will Lynchburg try to go through someone besides Trevison? They tried, and Shudell was there for the save, her second of the half. And the officials want to stop the clock and pull out another card. And once again, it's going against Kelsey Trevison. Stick came up high and made contact on the head. And so once again, Trevison dominating the storyline so far in both goals and penalties. That is the body language of a dejected player right there. Thinking, man. Yep. No water bottle is safe right now. problem will be if Roanoke can't stop her, no goalie will be safe either. So Lynchburg's offense is going to have to, you would assume, try to find someone else that can take the pressure off of Trevison. However, the first 2 goals we saw, Trevison was pretty much open as you could be and hope to be. But that will be future news. The current news is Roanoke trying to score with an extra man. The pass was there. Emerson Foster could not handle it. Now she collects an assist. Yes. We'll actually see if they give that assist to her. There was a dodge made on a defender. And we will await the confirmation. Check out Foster. Good pass inside. And a beautiful spacing from Ellie Armstrong to get to her dominant side. Fake high, go low, bounce it through, and we're tied at 5. So we're back to even. Trevison is back on the field. This time it costs Lynchburg to be without the extra man or without the even numbers. And once again, Roanoke wins a draw. Foster cleanly off the ground ball. Armstrong, out top, around 1, around 2, didn't have a shot, rolls back out to it. Gives to Foster. Foster in her left hand, bounces one through, and the Maroons have their first lead of the half. They've been down by as much as 2, now they lead by 1. Emerson Foster gets it done. Second one of the day for Foster. That is goal number 27 of the season. And a timeout taken by Lynchburg with 7:07 remaining in the first half. Roanoke leads 6-5. Some members of men's lacrosse, and I think some women's soccer players in there too. Yeah, Alex Allen, I see her. There's some field hockey players to the right side of that camera shot. Coach Kadelka way in the back, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing and not doing what they're not supposed to be doing. As we have 7:07 remaining in the first half. other Hornet athletes supporting the women's lacrosse team as they now trail 6-5, the first time they have trailed so far in this one. Everybody enjoying the new video board as well. It's a start. May not be the most appealing design right now, but we're working on it. We just got trained yesterday and today, so hopefully by the time ODACs roll around, even this weekend for field hockey, we will be putting that and ourselves to the test a little bit more. Unfortunately for women's lacrosse, if they want to see it in action, they'll have to be hosting an ODAC tournament game because this is their final home game of the season. They finish up with 3 road contests against Southern Virginia, Guilford, and Shenandoah. Lily Blair gives to Foster. Blair, the team leader in points and goals, but hasn't scored yet. A couple of shots that have gone off the post, but it's been other Maroons getting involved. Included in that is Armstrong, who had it. Never had a good shot, though. Lots of space in the middle. Lynchburg's defense going man. Now switching off. Micah Slacum going up against Armstrong. Slacum goes down. Witten knocks down the pass. Under 20 to shoot. And something on the turf. Something may have fell off. A piece of equipment, perhaps. Micah Slacum sprints off the field and may get a replacement of whatever it is. Actually, they're going to replace her. So Slacum has to fix her stick. And Aaron Gardner is going to come in. Gardner sporting a knee brace on that right knee. Had a chance to get in against Eastern Mennonite over the weekend for her senior day and scored her second career goal. Was not expected to play, only if she was needed, and certainly Slacum's stick being broken forces Coach Reed's hand for Gardner to test out that recently torn ACL. As Riley Chase just patiently waits, like waiting for the bus. And it's here, so it's time to go to school. 5:35 remaining in the first. Stopkowski delivers to Foster. The shot off a stick and away. Stays with the Maroons. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Stopkowski does not get it off in time, and each team now has traded a shot clock violation. Leah Dumas collects it. 7-on-7 here. 7 versus 7. Blair with the push. Dumas will keep it for the Hornets offense. Lynchburg has not scored since Kelsey Trevison's 4th. 10:26 on the clock, so we're about 6 minutes removed from the last time Lynchburg's offense was successful in scoring a goal. Which I'm not sure how else you would qualify an offense being successful if they don't score a goal. So that was kind of not needed to say. Anyway. Great defense again from Roanoke, all led by Brooke Adams. How about the stick checking from 26 in black, leading to another turnover by Lynchburg. That is the 5th caused turnover of the half for the Maroons. Armstrong being contacted on the hip. So gets the free run across midfield and into the offensive third for this offense that has scored 3 unanswered goals so far to give them the 1-goal lead. Pass that was a bit tall for its intended target, and it will be Lynchburg possession. Tiernan Connor did all she could to get there in time, but just not enough. So it'll be Kaylin Satterfield starting things off. Aaron Gardner getting her first chance to be guarded, putting that knee to its full test. Sandler skips it to Dumas, who's out there with Gregory, Witten, Santora, King, as well as Sullivan. No Kelsey Trevison on the field for this offense right now. The player with 4 goals of Lynchburg's 5 has not been back in since she took her second penalty. Mason Witten, long shot, and it scoots through. There's the emotion from Witten on a huge goal. You don't see too many of them in women's lacrosse come from that distance. She's got the power to sling it past the goalie and tie it up at 6. This will be fun to watch again. Witten coming in from the left side of your screen and just slinging it for her second of the day, 12th of the season. Mason Witten, one of the traditional seniors in her non-graduate year like some others. Hails from Charlottesville, Virginia. Runs social media for the team. And comes up with one of the best goals of the day so far. King and Popolaski on the draw. It's Roanoke winning it again. Foster sprinting down, looking inside for some help, not there. So she'll bring it all the way back behind the cage, looking out top. Collects with Blair. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Who will take a lead heading into the break, or will it remain tied up at 6? We're about to find out together. Good job getting that stick in the way. Kaylin Satterfield. But then a bouncer that got away from Broughton, scooping it up is Gardner. She's in trouble, double teamed with not much room to work with. My goodness. I need to go back to bed and try again. There's Jordan Nilsson. First time we've talked about her today. Nilsson Jr. from Easton, Maryland. I know where that is now. That's where Nate Schaefer is from. And his dad took a good amount of time to explain to me where Easton, Maryland is, because if you're heading toward it and you blink once, it's gone. Nate Schaefer, by the way, plays for the men's lacrosse team here at Lynchburg. They are back in action this Saturday on the road at Bridgewater. Won't be back home until next Sunday on Lacrosse Sports Network when they take on Colorado College. Currently 5th in the country. Great to have both lacrosse teams experiencing national success here in 2021. Good look to Santora. Short side, clangs off the post. Rebound up for grabs. And a sprint to the line. Picked up by Eisenhart. Under 10 seconds remaining in the half, and it looks to be that we will be tied at the break. Maybe. Yes, that is the case. 6-6. 30 minutes gone by here from Schellenberger Field in this ODAC women's lacrosse match. We'll take a break and be right back on LHSN.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home. So here's to love and here's to the heartache, all the laughter, every mistake. I don't know how our lives will be changed, but here I am home. Here I'm home.
Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees, during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Nice day to be outside enjoying some lacrosse action on Schellenberger Field. It is halftime at University of Lynchburg, and we're tied at 6 apiece on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here, and I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool, but regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
And we're back at halftime here, Lynchburg and Roanoke on Schellenberger Field. We're going to show you some of the first half highlights before we move on to the future, though. Let's do that now. Here we go. Couple goals, couple assists to show you. There were 6 total goals scored for Lynchburg. 4 of them came from that lady, Kelsey Trevison. This was a really impressive moment. Maddie Stupkowski with the assist on the goal to Tiernan Connor, one of the 5 Maroons with a goal in the first half. A couple good saves for Julia Broughton earlier on. Then the Maroons kind of figured her out. Meanwhile, on the other end, just 2 saves for Carly Schudel, but some big ones that kind of changed momentum in their favor as we went further along. Let's take a look at some numbers from the first half to illustrate to you what's going on. As you can imagine, with a 6-6 game, things pretty much overall are even down the list. Nothing really to point to big-wise except for that draw control number. The Maroons doubling up the Hornets in that area, so they are starting most possessions with the ball, and therefore that has changed their fortune since the first couple minutes, but we're still tied up at 6, so no one really has the advantage at this point in time. After you, Caroline, as the entire crew, both video and photography, are getting set for the second half. Not the only women's lacrosse match going on in the ODAC today. Virginia Wesleyan and Bridgewater get started at 5:30. Eastern Mennonite down the road at Randolph at 6 p.m. And then tonight we've got Shenandoah and Randolph-Macon at 7. That's a pretty good matchup on paper. Probably will live up to the billing as well. You can find the links to watch or follow along the live stats at odaconline.com. And with that whistle, we are underway, and it's the Hornets winning the possession just as they did to start the first half. And just as they did to start the first half, they are now shooting to our left, although they were only doing that for one possession before the officials realized, oh, you're supposed to be going the other way. So Lynchburg has already scored going this way once. We'll see if they can channel some of that positive energy here to start the second half. And once again, Kelsey Trevison is not on the field. She is standing on the sideline with her teammates. She is not in a situation where it looks like she is injured as Santora's shot misses. So she took 2 penalties. After the second penalty, she stayed on the sideline. Very interesting storyline to follow as we go along, especially if Lynchburg starts to struggle. Will they put Trevison back in to provide more of that offensive spark, or is there something more serious going on? That we don't know, and we may not know until after the game. Meanwhile, the Hornets trying to regain the lead. A pass for Santora off the mark. Loose ball and scooped up, then knocked away. But there's a whistle to keep it with Claire Eisenhart and the Maroons. And they throw it away promptly in the process. Roanoke had a real issue with that in the first half. Not having to worry about Lynchburg causing turnovers. If it stands, it'll be the 10th one of the game for Roanoke, but now the officials want to chat it over. So it looked as though Eisenhart threw it back to Shudell in an effort to start there, and then it went out of play, so you would think turnover, but maybe there's a conversation about the officials wanted it to start in the back, so that would have been not a turnover. After the conversation, it's deemed that that pass was intentional. They should have started with Eisenhart. They did. She threw it to Shudell, couldn't catch it. Turnover, Lynchburg ball. And another stoppage. What in the world? Oh, we still have a loose ball. They tried to take it and throw it off to the sidelines. It didn't make it the first time. So Nikki Santora will finish the job. And now we'll go again. Two minutes gone by. Maya Sullivan into the trees. The branches swat the ball away, and the Maroons will take it over again, just as they did a few minutes ago. So no longer is this offense having their way with the Maroons defense as they did in the first few minutes. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead early, got up by 2 again when it was 5-3, and then the Maroons scored 3 unanswered to give themselves their first lead of the contest before Mason Witten's long slingshot goal made it 6-6 before the end of the half. Shaping up to be a beautiful evening in Lynchburg, Virginia. About 65 degrees, partly sunny right now. Going to be in the mid to high 60s all weekend long as we get ready for another busy weekend on LHSN. ODAC Field Hockey Semifinal tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We've got softball tomorrow afternoon against EMU at 3 and 5 p.m. from Moon Field. Then Saturday all day long here at Schellenberger Field and the track for the Dennis Craddock Invitational for Lynchburg Track and Field, starting at 10 a.m. and finishing up around 8 p.m. on LHSN. And then Sunday, hopefully, Field Hockey Championship game, but definitely going to have softball against number 1 Virginia Wesleyan, and baseball will be playing as well on Sunday against Eastern Mennonite. All of those games found here on the LHSN YouTube channel. If you want to make sure you don't miss anything, be sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive notifications every time a video has been posted or just before a live video begins to stream. Not much room for Armstrong, forced to give it up. Lily Blair inside, goes low. Broughton there with the stop on the top scorer for the Maroons. Then Blair gets involved. Broughton had to clear it out. Now in trouble. Big stop again from Broughton. Julia Broughton with 6 saves now in the game, had 4 in the first half. And now the officials will say it remains Roanoke possession, much to the chagrin of the student section. But how about the play from 33 in gray? Julia Broughton, a sophomore from Glen Allen, Virginia, making some huge plays in this second half. Good look inside, but it was Nilsson in the way of the pass, and then a whistle will keep it with Lynchburg. Jordan Nilsson got that started with her stick being in the passing lane. Mason Witten carrying the pizza across midfield. Now looks on the run to Sandler on the trail. Sandler looking for a pass. Checked from behind, goes down hard. And that's going to be a card for Claire Kutzo. The younger sister of Jenna Kutzo, who has the first goal of the day for Roanoke, will be sitting as the Maroons collect their first penalty of the contest. Check it out again. Sandler. And then Kutzo comes in. Clear push. A little bit of rug burn for Carly Sandler. And for Claire Kutzo, it's going to be 2 minutes in the chair of shame. And Carly Sandler taking the free position shot. 2 of 10 this season on FPSs. Not the number you'd expect from this excellent offensive player. It's 2 of 11 thanks to the save by Shudell. Rebound falls to King, who allows Lynchburg to reset on offense with an extra man. Witten, Santora lost it, looking for the shot, regains it, and rolls back around. A couple good chances going by the wayside for Lynchburg's offense with 1 extra player on the turf for another 90 seconds if they don't score. Witten. No one open inside. Sprints around the crease. Now inside to Sandler, switches hands and scores! Carly Sandler getting ambidextrous on us as the Hornets go up by 1. Check it out again. Witten with the pass. Sandler cuts through the middle, has it on her right side, switches to her left, and scores the opposite side of the goal for her first of the day, her 16th of the season. Our player to watch, the ODAC Player of the Week, putting Lynchburg ahead once again. Big win for Roanoke in response. On the draw, 9 DCs now for the Maroons this evening. Blair still looking for her first goal. A whistle. And could be a shooting space issue here. And bring it back straight away in the possession of Jenna Kutso. Senior from Fairfield, Connecticut, awaits the whistle. Kutso takes off, shoots, and scores! Takes the body contact as well, hits the turf, but finds the ball in the back of the net for her second goal of the day. And we're tied at 7. Check it out again. Kutso on the left side. Can't see her yet, but you're about to. Just a dead sprint through the middle and beats Broughton low, hip side. And we go back and forth here in the second half of play. Kutso's sister took the penalty. Lynchburg scores. And then Jenna makes up for that by scoring one of her own. Changing some things related to this draw control setup. Actually, Roanoke with the possession, there is no draw control. That just continues to be such an issue for Roanoke. They were given the ball due to a Lynchburg mistake. Then they make a mistake of their own by going too soon before the whistle had blown, even with no opponent there in the draw area, and they give it to Lynchburg. Way too many turnovers unabated to the defense for Roanoke today, and that is keeping Lynchburg in the game and ahead at most times. Peyton Seville keeps it back to her left. Seville goes up top, and it's too tall. Over top of the crossbar, and Lynchburg will take it from there with 40 seconds to shoot. Gregory on a dead sprint looking inside, takes it herself, and Studell there reading it the whole way for save number 4. That pass a bit off the mark, and it turns into a giveaway. Today's game has a little bit of everything in terms of sloppy play and high efficiency moments. Roanoke will do something like that, and then we'll see them on offense execute perfectly. So the consistency factor isn't there for either team this evening. We'll certainly want to find that as we get closer to the ODAC tournament. These two teams at right now, the 2 and the 3 in the standings, with just about 3 games to go for both. So even in the standings and pretty even today, including dead even, where it counts the most. Breaking away was Hughes. Pass was behind her head. A scramble here just outside the crease. It rolls back in. Studell will gladly scoop it in to her cross. And once again, Roanoke's defense doing their darndest to keep Lynchburg from a shooting area, having shooting space. A little under 21 minutes to go. Joe Hutzler with you tonight, this evening. A game that was originally scheduled for last night at 7 p.m., but the threat of a major thunderstorm coming through had both programs decide that today would be a much better day weather-wise, and it has been, as this shot sails high off the stick of Blair. And the whistle, Lynchburg possession. Nilsson with the celebration along the end line, and she's rewarded for her efforts by obtaining possession for the Hornets. Witten accepts the pressure from Foster, splits the defenders, connects with Lemaire. Corinne Lemaire looking in, not there, play it outside to Gregory. The makeup of this offense is pretty young at the moment. Once you get outside of Santora, Sandler, and Witten, seeing some players we're not used to seeing out there with those three, as this becomes an offensive foul called against Santora. A charge against 11 and Gray. She was not anticipating that call, certainly. Great stick check. However, it's going to be a card and a penalty to Dara Gregory. The official behind the play must have deemed that the stick was up high too much, possibly made contact with the head. And for the third time today, Lynchburg will have a player sitting in the chair of shame. For the first time, it's not Kelsey Trevison, who is still on the sideline for Lynchburg. And I think Coach Schwartz wants a timeout. She will get it. 1 left for Roanoke, 2 left for Lynchburg, 18:35 left in the half. We're knotted at 7 on LHSN.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home. So here's to love and here's to the heartache, all the laughter, every mistake. I don't know how our lives will be changed, but here I am home. Here I'm home.
And we're back at Schellenberger Field on this beautiful Thursday evening in Lynchburg, Virginia. Joe Hutzler with you today. Happy to have you along for the ride in what has been a very entertaining one. Tied at 7 apiece between these two rivals that are separated by just about an hour down the way of Route 460. 18:35 to go. Roanoke out shooting Lynchburg 17-14. Shots on goal advantage for the Maroons is 13-11. Lynchburg getting 4 goals from Kelsey Trevison, but she's on the bench, and the Maroons are up again. This time a bouncer low side, Tiernan Connor, the freshman from Kennebunk, Maine, the same place that Carly Sandler is from, who has also scored in this second half. She scores for the second time, and for the second time today, the Maroons are up by 1. Check it out one more time. Good pass and a great shot. Gets it between the stick and the right foot of Broughton. And for Tiernan Connor, that is goal number 6 on the season. Both times Connor has been the beneficiary of a good pass. First time was in transition from Maddie Stepkowski. This time she had a little bit more individual effort go into it. Carly Hughes sweeps it, trying to regain possession, and in the end it's Seville picking it up and then losing it. But the whistle will keep it with the Hornets as they try to respond again. Sandler dodges inside, looking for help, not there. Now Hughes cuts through. Sandler cuts between 2 defenders, and it's stopped by Shudell. What a save. Rebound opportunity scooped up by the Maroons. Save number 5, the best one of the day for that lady. The junior out of Darien, Connecticut, keeping it 8-7 in favor of the visitors. What a save from Carly Shudell. Point blank, one of the best shooters in the conference. She comes up big. Possible giveaway here. It's been a thorn in the Maroons' side all day long. And the whistle from the official gives it to Roanoke. Shot clock still at 23. Foster lost it. King all over her defensively. 5 to shoot now. Armstrong looking for some room. Not there. Clogged up and shot clock violation. Second one against Roanoke today. So Madison Knight brings it into the offensive third. Shot off the post, rebound into Shudell's cross again. And once again, Lynchburg's offense sputtering through the middle part of the second half. They started the half with a goal from Carly Sandler. That was 10 minutes ago. Since then, Roanoke with 2 unanswered and the 1-goal lead. Good look and good connection for 3 straight unanswered goals. And finally, says Lily Blair, the team leader in goals now has 30 on the season, and the Roanoke Maroons have their largest lead of the game. Excellent threading of the needle on this pass. Blair collecting it and then bouncing it through the 5-hole. Morgan Saylor, freshman from South Windsor, Connecticut, will pick up the assist on that play. Coach Reed. You can see behind him Kelsey Trevison and Aaron Gardner no longer wearing just their uniforms. They have both put sweatshirts on to signify that their day is probably done. Very odd situation. I don't know what may have happened with Trevison. Again, last time we saw her, she was headed to the penalty area after scoring 4 goals. We know Gardner has the right knee problem. She's still trying to recover from a torn ACL, so we can't expect her to play a lot of minutes. I'm watching them both walk back to the bench. They just went back to their backpacks for a moment. Trevison seems to be okay, but this offense will have to do it without her, it seems. Under 15 minutes to go, down by 2. They have the talent to do it, there's no question. Recently, though, Carly Schudel has been the immovable object that just cannot get the ball past. Aladaniel gives to Sullivan. Not there, so they'll reset. Sandler, the lone goal scorer of the half for the Hornets. Santora's had a couple good looks. Looking for help now. Looking to get around Brooke Adams, who's played excellent defense all day long and continues to do so. Maybe it's Leah Dumas. So trade places with Tori King. 20 seconds on the shot clock and a push that goes against the Maroons, Claire Kutzo, and it's Leah Dumas with a free position opportunity. 4 for 6 on free position shots. This one could be huge if she can collect her 5th free position goal. And she will not. Schudel went low the whole way, stopping it in its tracks and then throwing out the outlet pass. Still vying for possession, and Lynchburg will get it. But how about another big stop for Schudel, and then that pass knocked down, comes back to Sullivan, slipping through the inside, taken down, and it's going to be Maya Sullivan, the sophomore from Southbury, Connecticut, getting her opportunity to score from a free position. Lynchburg as a whole is 1 of 3 now. Sullivan looking to just rip it on the whistle, not even try to run. She will, and she will not score. Once again, Schudel is stopping everything that goes low. Lynchburg's going to have to make that adjustment, maybe go low to high or just go high the whole way and try to beat the stick, the hands, the wrists of Schudel, because right now, anything low, she's on it, and she's stopping it. 2 saves in the first half, 5 saves here in this second half of play to keep the Hornets at bay, down by 2. Armstrong gives it up to Foster. 2 goals today for Emerson Foster. Blair, slow roller, stopped by Broughton on the bounce. 7th save for Broughton. And now it's the offense in transition. Sullivan trying to escape the stick of Blair. She will. And the offense will go back to work for Lynchburg. It's not like they haven't had chances. Shudell has just been the stopping force for the Maroons, that last line of defense. For a defense that's done pretty well, keeping Lynchburg from scoring more than once so far in this second half. Time becoming an issue as well for the Hornets. They're going to have to score soon. Lots of different faces on the offensive side for Lynchburg than we're used to. Seeing Sullivan and Daniel getting big minutes. Here's Alla Daniel. Nowhere to go. Actually ran into her own man for a moment. That was Mason Witten. For the second straight possession, Lynchburg creeps to 20 seconds on the shot clock before putting anything near the net. Sandler wants to go inside. Nobody's there. Dumas keeps her balance but lost the ball. Hold on Sandler and Roanoke possession. 14th turnover for Lynchburg to match the total by the Maroons. Roanoke has not defeated Lynchburg since 2017. Of course, they did not play last season in 2020 because of the COVID-19 shortened campaign. But Lynchburg has won the previous 3 matchups. Big stick for Santora, causing the steal. Keeps it herself, looking for some help on the trail, and then another good stick check. Once again, that's Brooke Adams. And the horn sounds in the venue. Timeout is taken by Lynchburg. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining, 9:41 to go. Barn burner here from Schellenberger Field. The Maroons lead the Hornets 9-7.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014 and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
.941 to go, and this half has been all about saves as opposed to the first half, which was all about goals. Most importantly, most specifically, Carly Shudell, who has been cool under pressure. A couple of good saves from Julia Broughton early. That one was huge in the first couple minutes of the second half. Broughton has a total of 7 saves. 5 of them came in the first half of play. This is the lady we're talking about, though, Carly Shudell, the junior from Darien, Connecticut. Check out this point-blank stop on Carly Sandler. She had 2 saves in the first half. She now has a total of 8. Here was one on a free position. No chance if you're going low side for this Hornets offense. They will have to make that adjustment if they want to get back in this one. Only down 2, but the offense has sputtered a lot since the opening part of this contest, where the goals were coming at ease for Trevison and Witten. Since then, though, not a lot of other people getting involved. Trevison on the bench, seems like her day is done, so they're going to have to rely on others. Santora with a couple good shots, but a couple that were missed off the post. Mason Witten has 2 goals. Carly Sandler has 1. The offense has possession now due to a fortunate timeout taken. A good timing on that timeout as Lynchburg was struggling to keep possession. And so now you've drawn something up. You've talked about exactly what you have to do here on offense. We'll see if the Hornets can execute it and bring it back to a 1-goal game. Lynchburg has led by as much as 2. This is their largest deficit of the game as well. Santora, King, Dumas, Witten all around the outside. Witten sprinting down the alley, coming back around the crease, looking for help, and will cause the foul. Called against Brooke Adams, who's had a stellar performance on defense. So Witten in a bit of a GLE free position opportunity. Lynchburg is 1 of 4 on free position shots today. Witten is 1 for 3 on the year. First attempt of the day. If she chooses to make it a shot, she may pass it instead. And she will just keep it to the top side, looking for some cutters. Finds Sandler, and Carly Sandler, her second of the game, second of the half. Well executed by this Hornets offense. Witten knew with that run somebody would get open underneath, goal line extended. It was Carly Sandler, and she'll make it a 1-goal game again. Excellent feed by Witten. You see Sandler open. Adams could not get there in time to play tight enough defense. And Sandler says, all right, Shudell, you got me the first time that close. Not this time. 17th goal of the season for Carly Sandler. And we got ourselves a good one, as we expected when we saw Lynchburg and Roanoke on the schedule. Of course, most of the time, Lynchburg and Roanoke on the schedule, anyone's schedule, is a good one. So many similarities between the schools themselves, their recruiting base, where they get student athletes from. It did not show on Saturday night for men's lacrosse, but it's showing here for the ladies. Think about the last 3 wins for Lynchburg. The largest win total has been 3 goals. April of 2019, it was an 11-10 win for Lynchburg here at home. 10-7 before that, 15-12 before that. Even their last loss against Roanoke was a 1-goal game of 10-9, and that could be where we're headed today. The Hornets have not scored 2 in a row in the second half. Trying to do it here. It's Witten looking in the middle, sprinting around the crease, still looking inside for a pass, creates her own space and shoots that one wide right. Sandler, even with pressure from behind, keeps possession, stays low to the ground, looking for some help. Not there this time. And a bit of a breather to get reset. Santora looking for Dumas. The pass was deflected. Good stick work by Stupkowski, and then they just rolled in the crease for Shudell to play. Now she's free game, loses it, picked up by Mason and rolled back in the crease. Whew, if you're a Maroons fan, that's what you're doing after that moment. Now it's up to the Lynchburg defense to get yet another stop. Give their offense another chance to tie it up. Foster looking for a cutter, takes it herself. Here comes the shot off the foot of Broughton. Rebound comes to Kutzo, but a big save coming in a big moment as time winds down by Julia Broughton. Goal line extended, nowhere to go. Throws it aimlessly back to the top. Now quickly into Blair. She's looking for her second. Not there, though. Kutso strides in, check twice, lost the ball, and Slakeham's going to be called for the foul. The initial check from Satterfield was good. Slacum bad. And Kutso with a free position opportunity. Three for 6 this season. First one of the day, and a score. 4 of 7 now on 2021. That's the third goal of the day for Jenna Kutso. The hat trick for the senior. Late in the game, a 2-goal advantage. We talked about it early on. This felt like a game where if you were up by 2, you had a much better chance of winning. It just seems like 2 is enough in this back and forth affair, and it's the Maroons that have that advantage now. Tori King, Kylie Popolaski. Crucial draw. A bouncer. Anyone's chance here near the Lynchburg bench. Down goes a Maroon player. Pushed in the process, and Roanoke will take it there. Nicole Harrison will start things off. Corinne Lemaire gets charged with the penalty. The yellow card will have her sitting for 2 minutes. Fourth penalty of the game for Lynchburg. Check it out again, number 2 on your screen. Charging in on Harrison. There's the check, there's the fall, and it puts Lemaire on the sideline in the penalty area for 2 minutes. So even better position for Roanoke. Up by 2. You've got the extra person on the field. You can waste 2 minutes if you want. Keep that 2-goal lead. Maybe even add another once you waste some time and really put Lynchburg in a bad spot. If Roanoke goes up by 3, it just doesn't feel like it's a game that Lynchburg can come back from. Broughton does her job to keep it a 2-goal game. Man, these keepers have been stellar in big moments today. Gotta love it. Great duel between the pipe dwellers. 8 saves for Shudell, 8 saves for Broughton, and Lynchburg still has an opportunity. 1 minute left in the penalty to Lemaire. We'll see if Lynchburg tries to score with 1 extra player for the Maroons. They won't really be able to waste a lot of time before Lemaire comes back in. There's 7 seconds difference between the shot clock and the penalty clock for her. So this is the right move for Roanoke to just pressure the Hornets. If the ball gets away, they've got an extra person on the field to pick that up. They can double team every single Lynchburg player that has possession. Don't want to foul. But you can apply some aggressive pressure. Santora gets her own shot, bounces off the crossbar. Rebound comes to Shudell. First pass was not caught cleanly by Santora. She got that loose ball back and fired it off the crossbar. That close to making it a 1-goal game with 1 less player on the field as well. Would have been a feel-good moment for Lynchburg. Instead, they've got 3.5 minutes left to score 2. They are at even strength now, but time running out for the Hornets, who have won 4 straight coming into today's contest. They've won 3 straight against Roanoke in this series. This would be Roanoke's biggest win of the season. They're 2-1 in the conference. And that one saved by Broughton. And then a whistle that keeps it with Lynchburg, and now Roanoke will serve a penalty. A yellow is given to Maddie Stupkowski, who had the shot that was saved by Broughton. And so she will sit for 2 minutes. We have 2:59 remaining in the game. Lynchburg down by 2. Got to quickly get it into your offensive third and set up and try to shoot early. Get open early. Score as early as you can in this 2-minute penalty time. Watch it again. That was the save from Broughton. Stupkowski came out, and then her stick came up on the head of Tori King. That's where the penalty was charged. That's why she is sitting for the majority of what's left of this regulation. Huge moment, a giveaway for Lynchburg. That is the exact opposite of what they needed to do in this particular moment of the game. And that might seal it for the Maroons with a 2-goal advantage. We've talked all afternoon about Roanoke hurting themselves with unforced turnovers, but it's Lynchburg at the most inopportune moment with a very inopportune moment or turnover going against them and putting them in a really tough spot. They know it. You can see the body language on that team right now as there's 2:27 left. Coach Schwartz calls a timeout. Her final will step away as well. Lynchburg down by 2. The Maroons with the ball when we come back on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
What a great match of lacrosse we've had here today on LHSN. Joe Hutzler with you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed any of the game, the DVR controls are on, so you can sweep on back to wherever you'd like to see what's going on or watch it anytime here on our YouTube channel if you'd like. Right now, the Hornets down by 2, 10-8 with 2:27 to go. They led early. Kelty Trevison had 4 of the team's 5 first goals, and then Roanoke started to get hot. They had 3 unanswered, with Mason Witten scoring for Lynchburg to make it 6-6 at halftime. The Hornets led 7-6 to start the second half, and then the Maroons scored 3 unanswered again to take a 9-7 lead. Sandler with her second made it 9-8, and most recently, the third goal of the day for Jenna Kutzo made it 10-8. And even more recently, Lynchburg, with an extra man on the field, turned it over at midfield, and now it's the Maroons who have a chance to kill off this next 129 of the penalty given to Stupkowski and really put this one away for their 3rd conference win of the season, and more importantly for their program, ending the drought against the Hornets. Blair had it lost. Dumas was right there, and then Blair gets it back. Those are the type of moments Lynchburg will remember, maybe even want to forget. Each of these teams have 3 games remaining on their schedule. Roanoke will take on Randolph-Macon, then Randolph, and then Eastern Mennonite. 2 of the next 3 are on the road. All 3 of Lynchburg's remaining games are on the road. At Southern Virginia for a non-conference tilt, then at Guilford, and finishing up at Shenandoah before the ODAC tournament in the first weekend of May. 90 seconds to go, 30 seconds remaining on the penalty clock. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and Emerson Foster puts it away with her hat trick goal today. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Emerson Foster sprints in from the left, just lets it rip, and beats Broughton for her third of the day, and the one that seals it for the Maroons. Up by 3 with 1:22 to go. And a big game for tournament seeding purposes. Lynchburg number 2, Roanoke number 3 in the standings. That will change at the end of this one, as Roanoke will continue to have just one loss on their schedule in conference play. Lynchburg will have fallen to Washington and Lee and Roanoke. And Shenandoah is no slouch. That's who they finished the season with, so they'll want to finish strong with a win there before the ODAC tournament. 60 seconds to go. Lynchburg has to go quickly. Daniel keeps it in front. Throws it back for Santora, who scores. Nikki Santora, she's had a lot of chances today. Could not quite get him on target. This one, no doubt, on the one-timer, bouncing it past Shudell. And for Santora, that is goal number 23 in her first season with Lynchburg. The graduate transfer from William Smith. Won a conference title up there and would like to be part of the first conference championship for women's lacrosse at Lynchburg since 1989. Back to the draw area, an area that Roanoke has done well today in. The advantage 12-7. King had it, lost it. Foster scoops it up. 35 seconds to go before the Maroons can celebrate, before they head back west to Salem, Virginia. As they will take this edition of the Battle of 460. A game that they trailed early by 2. In fact, we're down by 2 twice in the first half before making it a 6-6 game at halftime. And in this second half, they have had the upper hand most of the way. And they will take care of business. For the first time since 2017, the Maroons are victorious on Schellenberger Field. And a big shout out to Carly Shudell, the junior goalie out of Darien, Connecticut, finishing the day with 8 saves, 6 of them coming in the second half. Crucial moments for the Maroons to keep the Hornets at bay as they win today 11-9. That's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with some highlights of this one as we prepare for our next broadcast, which is tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Lynchburg softball battles the Royals of Eastern Mennonite University. And then tomorrow night it is Lynchburg field hockey taking on Shenandoah at 7 p.m. for the ODAC semifinals, a chance to go back to the championship game. You can only see it here on LHSN. For the entire LHSN crew, thank you so much for tuning in today. We will see you soon.